going to take the North and never give it back.
So that's a good pick. You get the corner.
Man, I'm confident in our offense, that's for sure.
Yeah, she's got some nice long
Welcome back to the Unbearable Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Brad Barron. Make sure to like and subscribe out there on YouTube. PayPal, this is a little bit different time that we're going live at 5 o'clock. We just got done with work, just rolling up recording, because this week's been a little crazy. We didn't have a show on Sunday. We'll get back next week to our normal 7:30 on Sundays and Thursdays. But I totally forgot I had an eye appointment. They're dilating my eyes tonight. So I'm not, like, literally right after this, I'm going getting my eyes dilated, and then I'm not going to see anything.
You're gonna look like maybe just because I just watched the new Guardians of the Galaxy movie, but you're gonna look like the that one lady, that one alien lady that can like telepathically, you know, you're gonna look like her. Like
I think so for sure. And, you know, you can tell that it's a different time of the day too, because you're glitching in and out a little bit. So I don't know if that actually went through. But yes, you were giving me a little bit of crap about my eyes, but we'll see what ends up happening. It's just been a while since I've actually gone to the eye doctor, so it'll be good to kind of get in and get it going. But also, so we'll try and get back to the normal schedule. This week has been crazy. Had to get a new TV, had to install it, fix a lawnmower, had to do a whole bunch of stuff. So yeah, it was a little nuts to say the least. But that's where we're going to be breaking down the second week of OTAs, just like what we did last week, to just kind of give you everything that you need to know about this week in OTAs. So let's start off with the biggest news that's out there. The big news, Jaylon Johnson is going to reportedly show up to training camp or OTAs next week. And PayPal, I got to say, you were correct with this, because you mentioned this a little bit. We were talking about Jaylon Johnson, and I was thinking this is the beginning. I'm not getting it off. I'm not saying that it's not like he will hold in eventually, but he is going to be reporting.
Yeah. Hopefully I'm not lagging anymore, Brad. Hopefully I'm all good. But yeah, I was not really surprised seeing that, as you know, from last time we kind of talked about in our week 1 recap. Like, I thought it was just a lot of malarkey, you know, that people are just kind of saying it like, all right, like it was just a headline and something to look at us and media to try and grab us and, you know, watch the mini cam and keep up. But Jaylon Johnson, he honestly, I don't think he doesn't have that the cockiness as most cornerbacks kind of have. Like he's confident, but he's not confident where it ruins his relationships with the team and the people around him.
Yeah, I do agree with that, where that's the thing that I was nervous about, right? I talked about the corners before, where you have to have some level of ego to play corner. And in his interview, he seemed very like you're saying, not a lot of ego. And the reason, just for those that don't know, for one, he mentioned his daughter, being able to see his daughter out in, I believe, California. Then the other thing that he brought up on ESPN 1000 was that he's setting up a charity for his friend that died from gun violence. So that was one of the things that he wanted to get done. So I saw some people say it's just he's bringing up his daughter, but there was other things that he was doing as well. To me, I don't think he's out of the woods. Call me paranoid, PayPal, but
really,
I don't fully buy it, because right afterwards he started bringing up his contract and he started talking about it. I don't think that we overreact to anything, right? It's great that he's going to be showing up, that he's going to be there. He wasn't deliberately trying to hold out, as far as we know. Let's see what happens in training camp, right?
Yeah.
Let's just wait till then. And I think that's when we'll see officially, is he going to be holding in for a new contract or not?
Yeah, I think it's really healthy that the Bears let him do all that, setting up the charity, hang out with his kids. Yeah, I know his family's in California, which is still crazy to me. It's like, move up to Chicago if you really want to stay, you know, like that's kind of concerning too. It's like I remember an interview way back when he talked about how, annoying it is having to be so separated from his family. So I wonder, to I don't care if I stay as a Chicago Bear or not. Um, but as I know, as a franchise and with this coaching staff, they are prepared for whatever happens. If he does want to stay as a Bear, that's fine by us. But if he doesn't want to, we are going to find the people to replace him, and it's not going to be a huge deal.
Yeah, I just think overall, like, I get it. Like, I haven't been a professional athlete, but I understand that your home is your home. And especially with him, he has 1 year left, right? So we'll see where he ends up going. And yeah, I'm still skeptical, PayPal. Obviously he'll be there. If he's not, then there's something wrong. But I still just want to wait till training camp. We'll see what ends up happening with him overall. But yeah, it will definitely be interesting. We'll definitely talk through some of the rookies renewable, asked about that, some of the rookies that might be taking a step up and trying to do something out there. But let's go to probably my favorite piece in all of this, Justin Fields. Now, Alan Williams reportedly said about Justin Fields, let me just pull this up because it makes you smile. It makes you smile like crazy when you see this. So he was talking about Justin Fields, and Alan Williams said his leadership, because that's what you want in your quarterback. I see good decision making. That's what you want in your quarterback. I see improved accuracy. That's what you want in your quarterback. And how fast he's processing. That's also, in my mind, what you want in your quarterback.
Man, Brad, yeah. When I heard that, Brad, I don't know about you, but yeah, I was smiling ear to ear.
Yeah.
And like Alan Williams and Hightower, I love their insight of all the play. They really media attention from them. They really answer questions in depth. But man, like I like his point of view of the defensive coordinator. Like as the offensive coordinator, they just kind of talk about the footwork, more technical stuff. And he's just, he simply just puts it, he looks a lot better. And that's what we want to see. And he's wreaking havoc on the defense.
And one thing, too, that gets me really excited, because you're hearing the news out of OTAs, right? And you're putting it all together. This is my third season. This is our, as a show, this is our third season covering training camp. And the big thing that I've realized is when you are there and you watch it, right? Listen to the people that are talking about it. And I know it's easy to criticize, quote unquote, Bears media. Like I think of, Hogan Johns. I think of people like that. And I remember when it was Justin Fields versus Andy Dalton, and everyone's saying, like, Bears media is saying Andy Dalton looks better than Justin Fields. And we're like, there's no freaking way. No way. And then we go and we're like, Andy Dalton looks better than Justin Fields. What the heck?
Yeah.
And now, like last year, it was still like Justin Fields looks a little slow. Now everybody is talking. He's got quicker decision making. Like he really does. He understands the playbook. No one works harder than Justin Fields.
Yeah.
And I think part of this, I was listening to someone, I think it was NFL Scouting, Lockdown NFL Scouting. They were talking about the Bears, unbiased source, saying that something that Justin Fields needs to get better on is actually pre-snap, because he kind of takes a little bit to go back in his stance, and then he's trying to process. It sounds like he's processing a lot pre-snap, which in turn will help him when the ball snaps, because then in his mind, he knows, okay, I kind of assumed this was going to be cover 3, and it was cover 3. Right now, I know what read to go to, so I'm excited. It's all positive stuff coming out of this.
I never thought about that yet. It's that whole how do you adjust to make make things better and stuff, and make it quicker decisions. And that I love that he's been able to do that, because that was the big problem with him last year, was his decision making. Like we all know he has the home run hitting, deep ball throws, the awesome runs, but it was just that quick decisions, the short throws, and like that will just help everything. The sacks, the incomplete passes, all that, increase the passing yards, Brad, potential 4,000 yards maybe. That's still kind of a hot take maybe. Might be the first season the Bears get that 4,000 passing yards, but
Yeah.
yeah.
It's good, great to see. And two, another thing that we didn't necessarily we still talked about DJ Moore, but the more that I hear, the more that I listen, the more that I'm hearing just how DJ Moore's just different, right? I'm hearing some people say we haven't seen a wide receiver this good in so long. I believe Josh Tarak from NBC Sports, I was listening to him. He was saying, he's like, this guy's just fast. This guy's just next level quick. It's all great things about what the Bears can do at the receiving position with DJ Moore. They have the connections. They have this stuff that's going on. It's just pumped up, right? And Chase Claypool, we didn't hear much from him this week. Darnell Mooney's still sitting out, or not sitting out makes it sound worse. Darnell Mooney's still not out there. So then Chase Claypool is sitting out as well, just with a soft tissue injury. I believe that the official prognosis was soft tissue stuff is the reason why he's sitting out is soft tissue stuff. So
you know how that soft tissue, how that soft tissue stuff is, Brett.
Yeah, it's just that stuff, that soft tissue. Yeah, when that's not good, that's no bueno. So,
Brad, with DJ Moore, I'm loving all the videos the Chicago Bears media is bringing out there of 1 + 2 = 6. Like kind of creating that narrative of like when these guys are working together, we're gonna get a lot of touchdowns. But another receiver I was kind of hearing, Khalil Herbert of all people was talking about him was Tyler Scott, saying how fast he looks, how he just is creating so many big plays. And that's exactly what we saw in his college film. It's fast, great route runner, can just Darnell Mooney, is his younger brother. It's everything that Darnell Mooney did for us when he was coming into the league, but the same thing. So like it hurts that Darnell Mooney's out, but it's awesome. A young guy like Tyler Scott is kind of showing up.
Yeah, let's talk about the rookies a little bit more because there have been rookies that have been turning heads, and one of them is Tyler Scott. I mean, the big one is Tyler Scott. People are saying it's not like, oh my God, he's going to be a starter, right? Who needs Darnell Mooney now? It's not going to be something like that, but people are saying him and PJ Walker have had a handful of plays that look very, very impressive together, and it's a big reason why he was rated so high. We talked about this in the pre-draft show that Tyler Scott had insane speed. He has good hands. Like he was the Jalen Hyatt, like the off-brand Jalen Hyatt, that just like Darnell Mooney was off-brand Jalen Reagor. And we saw what that turned into, right? So right then and there, Tyler Scott, you have that weapon. I also forgot this too. Week 1, some people were saying Bayless does not look like he sucks out there, which, that I just heard it from one person that I was listening to, but we'll see what that ends up turning into. But Tyler Scott, big plays, and Tyrique Stevenson out there. So Jaylon Johnson out there, the rookie Tyrique Stevenson, who we kind of assumed was going to be on the starting outside corner, has been out there, got an interception, and from the reports, sounded like a good play on his end. Not an easy gimme or someone tips it, jumps a route. The only thing that the defensive backs coach said, he double caught it. He caught it twice, not on the first grab, but it's nice to hear that Tyrique Stevenson making a play, jumping a route from Justin Fields. So don't like that Justin Fields threw a pick, but I like that it's the rookie at least proving himself.
Yeah, and it seems like he made a play rather than Justin Fields' mistake. It wasn't like, like Justin Fields just threw a bad one and he caught it. But he actually made a play, which I'm not surprised Tyrique Stevenson did that. He seems like a very intelligent football player, which you saw it when he did that play.
Yeah, and some other rookies, we got to talk about Gervon Dexter. Now, I know we got Jake Capone out there who's huge Gervon Dexter fan. Gervon Dexter, everyone's saying the dude's beast. The dude is like obviously they don't have pads on right now. But the thing that I will say, because I've been hypercritical of his get off, like we talked about, he had the slowest get off I've ever seen on tape. They're saying, hey, listen, when he's taking snaps out there, you don't see that slow as heck, slow as molasses get off. And there's been, and also too, the defensive line coach for the Florida Gators actually said that he would be better in this Bears system than theirs. And they were talking about this too. They're trying to build, I believe, was it Eberflus or Alan Williams? They were talking about building the pass rush from the inside, and they're really more focused. It's outside of the scheme that he had at Florida. Same thing with Pickens with South Carolina. They're saying, we want you to be running straight. It's more straight attack, penetrating style, which both of them really weren't asked to do in their college games. So it's nice to see that, hey, he's being asked, Gervon Dexter's being asked to actually penetrate, asked to attack more. And guess what?
Yeah.
He's showing that, which is super promising for someone who has as much talent as he does.
Yeah, I think we're seeing the kind of the coaching staff and our general manager actually like why we get all these guys that we've been getting in the free agency and all that, of they fit our scheme. Like they're getting guys that fit the scheme, and you're going to see they might not perform if they were on the Titans or something, but they're going to perform better here. And I love that. And yeah, Gervon Dexter is apparently just one of the best coachable players that Alan Williams was just loving him, because he just takes all the, coachability, and you just love a player that has that physical potential and then also is able to get better from his IQ and his coachability.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think of anyone else, because the D lineman, I heard very small. I think it was actually Torin was on another show and commented, who's usually in our comments, about Terrell Smith, and they're like, yeah, they haven't seen much, but there was a comment made about Terrell Smith. Just oh gosh, I have it written down somewhere. The defensive backs coach likes Terrell Smith, likes kind of his mentality, just kind of gave some praise. They were asking who hasn't really gotten much of the limelight, and he brought up Terrell Smith, right?
Yeah.
That's good, but it sounds like there's not a lot of eye-popping plays out there like some of the other players are doing, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't mean he's bad, but it just means
he got an interception last week. But yeah, maybe this week he's working on some things. He's, sometimes they don't all come into your hands and all that. So,
and a couple other things too. Some other people that were sitting out due to just sitting out during practice that were there. Deonta Foreman, Jack Sanborn, Lucas Patrick, and Alex Leatherwood. Also, some other things out there. Nate Davis still not showing up. But when Cody Whitehair was asked about it, he said, listen, he's been in this system, and this is not a direct quote. This is me paraphrasing. We have a lot of direct quotes. This is not one of them. He was saying, listen, he's been in this system. There's no fear with that. So it's good that Cody Whitehair stood up for him.
Yeah. I still worry, I think, because offensive line is kind of that, you need the most chemistry at the offensive line position.
Agreed.
I mean, you see how, just having a complete unit for a year compared to having them for like 2 years experience together, it just a complete difference. And that's where I'm hoping he can come back, or at least get some sort of practice with this unit, just because I think it's going to pay huge dividends once it comes regular season.
Yeah, and two, just Cody Whitehair, everybody is gushing over his interview.
Yeah, they
just
are.
This is the most love Cody Whitehair has ever gotten. Even when he's like switching every single position, you just hear him talk, and you hear just how much he is a leader. Now, last year we were hearing how much Lucas Patrick was a leader. It's nice to hear, though, that the actual that has been here forever has always kind of done these things behind the scenes, just like reaching out to players when they join the Bears, little things like that he's doing, and just the coaching staff too, just praising him for being the leader, which we need on this line, because two three really young players and Nate Davis not being there, it's good to just hear that he's stepping up to the plate rather than Lucas Patrick being the backup, being the voice of the offensive line.
Yeah, Brad, I think you really can tell how important he is to the Bears. I think by how much money you save by cutting him. I know we thought he was going to get cut this year.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you save a lot of money by cutting him, and you see how much they value that leadership and his versatility and all those other traits that he has for this team. So, like, that proved me. I was like, oh, wow, like, they must really value him if they're going to pay him this money. Because you know how Poles, I mean, he loves his money. He loves his money. So,
like, do you know the type of deal I could get on this guy if I just cut him? Or he's probably like, I have to spend money. And but actually, speaking of spending money, I know this isn't on our docket, but we had Matt Eberflus when just talking. This seems so out of his mouth, like just out the side of his mouth. He's like, we're interested in a lot of free agents. Like, that might be the greatest smokescreen of all time, or he just let it slip. It's one of the two. Like, if that's a smokescreen, Flus deserves a medal. But it seems like he just let it go a little bit.
He's throwing a smoke screen with like a grenade. Basically, a grenade, like the smoke screen is, we're gonna get all these different positions. We don't care what position. We're not focusing on position. It's every position. And that grenade is like Yannick Ngakoue. And once you get him, it's gonna blow up. We're gonna get him. But yeah, I just think that's his sign of like, we're still looking at edges. He just can't say a certain position group.
Yeah, and that's where I'm kind of curious too. It's Jacob Capone saying we have over 100+ million next year too. Like, we got a lot of money laying around with the Bears, and maybe part of this too is we know Ryan Poles loves his deals, right? So maybe what he's trying to do is he's talking to all these free agents, trying to get the best deal, seeing which one that he wants, right? And we'll see what they end up doing. There's a lot of people out there, and right now with OTAs, see what you have, understand the roster more, and see what you might need to go after, right? Is it an extra corner? Look to see what these rookies, look to see what Stevenson has, and we'll talk about the other corner, the third corner coming up. But yeah, evaluate that roster, evaluate the people that you have, and we'll see. We've talked about the defensive ends. We've talked about the people that are available. It would be dumb if we didn't get a defensive end. I mean, I could see us waiting until training camp. Not saying that would be dumb. It would be dumb if we didn't have a defensive end at the start of the season, because we should have some extra bonus players out there, unless Travis Gibson and Dominique Robinson look amazing and turn it around somehow. We do need some help out there. But let's go to our...
It's not like last year where we just wanted to throw away. We could throw away games because we knew we weren't going to win. But this year it's different.
Yeah, so let's go to our last topic of today, and that is Kyler Gordon. So Kyler Gordon kind of made some smaller little headlines today or yesterday, saying that, not going to lie, I do miss corner. I love corner. But yeah, it definitely is nice to focus on nickel and take in as much as I can there, and perfect for that. Perfect that spot. That's what he said. I'm not speaking. That's the quote from Kyler Gordon. And yeah, it's really on him playing that slot cornerback position and just where he's at. And there's really a lot of attention. Just that last year, he was playing everywhere. He was playing outside. He was playing inside. And they're like, yeah, we appreciate his versatility. And then you kind of saw that he didn't, like, he kind of seemed a little lost out there. I, for one, I don't know about you, PayPal. I like that he's playing slot. I don't like hearing that he misses playing outside corner. He did say a couple other things that made him kind of like, I want to at least get my shot, because he knows outside corners get paid. Nickels don't, right? Like, that would suck. If you have the body type, he's like 6'2", he could play outside, but the Bears want him inside.
I love him at nickel. I mean, I love having that bigger guy in the nickel spot, being able to play run more effectively, not have this little guy that can't tackle. But yeah, I feel the same way. I'm kind of bummed that he's not liking that position. But I mean, Alan Williams talked highly of how he just looks like he's flowing now. Like you kind of have that, when you switching positions, he seemed like he was just kind of running around, like he was trying really hard, but he kind of looked like confused out there. But now he seems not like he's running in slow motion, but he's gliding, like he's moving the same pace, but he almost looks like he's doing it more comfortably.
And I think too, like from my perspective, like hearing that, I didn't really get that he doesn't. It's weird. Like I don't think he hates slot corner. I just think that it's like if it's in your own career, right? If you were at a job that you knew you'd be getting paid less money, and that's where they're like, no, you got to be at that lesser paying job, I'd be a little bit like, okay, I enjoy what I'm doing, but man, that extra bag looks so nice. Like, I kind of want that money. But he did say, and he said this before, he likes to blitz. He likes the concepts of it. They talked about exotic blitz packages for the Bears too. So it's nice to hear like that at least, and he's good at it as well. But I like that he's staying at slot. He's got to learn that. And I think that's his best opportunity to play. Kendall Vildor is more of an outside guy. I know that Stevenson played in the slot. I know he played safety. But to me, he's a straight line. I think he is best with straight line speed. And that's why I think he projects best to the outside. I don't think he's an inside guy. So,
yeah, he's not quick. He's not quick enough. Kyler Gordon is definitely quick enough to work in that inside, while Tyler Stevenson, he's more straight line.
Yeah,
I agree.
Stevenson too. You see his length that he's able to like pop.
Yeah.
Like that's where he is a good scheme fit as our outside guy, not as the inside. I just don't see the fluidity to his movement that you would want out of like a Kyler Gordon at that slot position. And heck, we also got Blackwell. The man, the myth, the legend too.
Hey, Greg Stroman looking good too.
Stroman.
I mean, so who knows?
But do you have anything else? Otherwise, I gotta head out to my eye appointment and get my eyes all big.
I mean, besides that, I love our coaching staff, and it's awesome hearing all these positive things. We're not trying to search positive. Next year, we were really forcing it. This year, it's like, oh, we have all these positive things that the coaches are saying about the players, and even Eberflus is complimenting Hightower and all the other coaching staff guys. So I love it so far, but I just can't wait for more Bears stuff.
Exactly. It's a different vibe. That's what people are saying. They're like, everybody says this, but they're like, it's different. It feels different. Reporters are saying it's different. Not saying it's going to be a Super Bowl run, but it is what you want out of year 2, out of a rebuilding franchise. But make sure to stay tuned. Make sure to rate 5 stars for all those listening on your favorite podcasting app. Make sure to like, make sure to subscribe. And with that, Unbearable Sports Podcast, we are out.
Yeah, she's got some nice long hair and